How goes the family? Happy Memorial Day. Hopefully you guys are having a great and exceptional day. Thank you for all who have served. Thank you for those who've served and died for the United States of America. And those who continue to serve to this day. Just definitely have to put that out there. Today's word of the day is severance. Stands for the act or process of serving, the condition of being served, extra pay given an employee upon leaving a position. Now, I've received severance packages before. I remember one thing that I used to love when I worked back in the private sector, because my generation, the 80s babies, we were like the first generation in the United States. Well, yeah, we were really the first generation in the United States it became normal to leave a job after a couple of days, couple of weeks, or a couple of months, or even a year, the longest a year, because people were chasing the dollar, people were chasing the experiences, people were chasing a lot of things outside of just the basic norm. I think every generation has its great aspects of it coming up. And one thing I can say about us 80s babies is that it was because our parents' generation, the baby boomers, it was normal, because you had the baby boomers and you had the Gen Xers. And the Gen Xers, they were the ones that really, were the ones creating the tech boom, that you think of, Google, Twitter, all those different, they were breaking the barriers of, going outside the norm of just staying at a company forever, because they were like the last generation to be able to benefit from, from the old school fashioned way of retirement, the job market of you work in one place, you work there for 30 to 40 years, you retire with a good pension, you get the gold watch. You were the company man, woman, or child. That's what you were. You were the company person. And that's what corporate America was back in those days. And then, of course, the Gen Xers were the last generation to have a lot more factories in the United States of America compared to today. So you had a lot of, people who were part of unions. For good or worse, people had a little bit more, job security. So to me, being able to have some job security back then, it meant a lot. Now, the new job security today is people owning businesses, because a job can be gone tomorrow. Your pay could be cut in half tomorrow. And like I said, my generation, the millennial generation, was the first generation to just, hey, we're hopping from job to job. We don't have retirements. We got 401k plans. 401k plans can get rolled over. We can have individual retirement accounts. So we have a multitude of options that stem outside of the basic norm. We have a multitude of options. So therefore, because the way the job market changed, do we sit on the sidelines and complain about like a little child, or do we act like adults and step our game up and figure out how to make money moves in a different specific way? So that's, to me, that's what I love about this time and era. And like I said, the Gen Z and the generation, they're the first generation to be used to growing up with cell phones. They're the ones that are, like, just imagine telling these young kids nowadays that you have to, because there's certain jobs where you're not allowed to have a phone even in the building. You're not allowed to even be on your phone ever. So you got to keep your phone in your car or in a lockbox and whatnot. So for a lot of young people, like, try to tell an 18-year-old that going into a job today, they're going to lose their freaking mind. They'll be like, no, I'm good. I'm in the wrong industry. They're like, I'm good. I'm used to having my cell phone technology with me. It's like basically, because you think about it, our cell phones nowadays is like having a wallet. You know what I mean? So I get it in a big, big way. Thinking outside the box, doing different things, hey. But I know I kind of went down in the weeds, but I remember when I would leave a corporate job, and I'd save up a significant amount of leave. Not only would I have a final paycheck, but they would, if I didn't utilize my leave, and that back in my 20s, I didn't care about my having vacation and taking days off compared to like I do now. But back then, I liked being able to cash out my leave, and therefore I'd have a little extra money in my pocket. I could put some money away. And I could invest it, or I could just do whatever I wanted with it, So to me, that was the coolest thing about growing up in that generation. All right. So today's quote of the day is by Kendrick Lamar. He says, "The message I'm sending to myself: I can't change the world until I change myself first." And I could not agree with that statement more. You have to be able to, in order for you to inflict any real change in this world, we all have to admit that all have an issue or two. Everybody's flawed in every single way. And nowadays in today's world, a lot of people, not all, but a lot of people have a very narcissistic mentality where they believe that they know everything and they are the ruler of all. And because of have such a narcissistic mentality, they immediately attack anybody who adds a little constructive criticism. And to me, the most narcissistic thing that we have today is nobody can admit when they're wrong. They can never admit that they've made a mistake, and they can never admit that they don't know everything. I think the wisest person knows that they don't know everything. That's why it's called reading. It's called listening to books, audiobooks, listening to podcasts, and engaging in intelligent conversation and getting other people's opinions, not just having yes people around you. All right. So on that note, do the great three things: like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day. Make money moves, or you're gonna live like a fool. Take care.